Ever heard of managing up? Have people told you that you have to manage up if you want to move up in your career? I'll tell you that there are many different ways that you can manage up or not. And today we'll get into why it's important to manage up and how to do it. Hello world, it's Rico. Managing up can be a controversial thing. There are good reasons and beneficial ways to manage up, but I've also seen and heard some horrendous advice and even classes around managing up that should never be repeated or taken. I'll touch on that a bit here at the end, but I'll get into that in another video. But let's get into this one. What is managing up? Managing up can sound like you're trying to brown nose, is that still a thing? Or suck up to the boss. That is definitely one way to do it, but that's not what I mean, and that's definitely not a tip for you. Managing up is simply the way that you can learn to communicate, inform, get to know, and build trust with your leader or leaders. You should definitely do these things to your direct leader, and in some cases you should do this with multiple leaders across the organization. I created a video on mentors and how to use them. This is a great opportunity to build on that mentor relationship, and that will help you build real influence within your organization. Why is it important to manage up? There are a lot of great reasons to manage up. For one, it creates a strong relationship between you and your manager. You'll understand each other as coworkers and as people. You'll start to build trust with one another, and you'll figure out how to get the best out of each other. Second is you'll improve transparency and productivity. If you've built trust and understanding, you and your leader will naturally share things more openly. This will lead to a much better shared understanding of goals, priorities, and how to focus on the most productive projects. And then third, it allows you to grow by increasing your scope and taking on new challenges. If you and your leader are aligned and you're managing up effectively, you'll likely be asked to take on new and different, even bigger projects. Because you have this level of trust and communication, it'll be easy for your leader to understand where your limitations are, but more importantly, where you can be pushed and where you can shine. And lastly, this gives you control over your own career. Yes, your leader has the ultimate say here, but if you're doing all the things above, you'll be building a strong reputation for yourself. You'll be building trust, influence across the organization, and that will help others advocate for you and increasing your scope, your salary, and even being promoted. For me, I definitely saw the benefits of building trust and delivering against these bigger goals. It's how I established myself and found success in over 18 years in the tech world. I was transparent, I communicated progress, and delivered on time, often exceeding expectations. And this got people not to just trust in my skills and ability, but they would advocate for me even when I wasn't in the room. Now that's how you build true influence. Here are the 5 tips on how to effectively manage up. Be aware and up to speed with the company's goals and priorities. You should already know the mission and vision, but understanding the company goals and priorities show that you care about your work and the success of the business. It also gives you the context necessary to understand when, what, and how to communicate with your leader and teammates. This will also mean you can participate fully in discussions and debates on how to move the business forward. Be upfront about your personal and professional goals. If you've seen my video on building empathy, you'll know I like to do the 3x3 exercise. This is when you and your leader will share 3 professional and personal goals. Professional should include what your career goals are and the things you need to get there. Personal goals should just be around that, personal. If you have family commitments or things outside of work you need to prioritize and make time for, share that with your leader. This 3x3 does lots of things. It gives your leader an idea of what you aspire to be in your career, but also sets boundaries between life and work. It lets them know where you draw the line. For example, I have 2 young kids and I used to travel a lot for work, and it was a big reason why I left Netflix. I wanted to be present for my kids, and if I had to travel 40% of the time and work on weekends, that's not a fit for my personal goals. Assume no one knows exactly what you do when you present and what your goal is. This is an important one for leaders beyond your direct manager. When you present, assume the attendees don't have any context. You want to be sure that they have a shared understanding of what it is you do and what you're about to present. This helps ground people in what they should care about. It sounds crude, but there's so much information and so much context switching that happens at work. You want to be sure you're maximizing your time and everyone else's time. Be intentional about what you are presenting and what you want to get out of it. Be honest and give real-time, actionable feedback. Leaders will often ask their team members for feedback, at least the good ones do. Be sure you're honest and transparent about that feedback. Don't sugarcoat, don't make it vague, and don't hold the important stuff back. A good leader wants to get better, and you can help them do that. They also want to be sure their ideas or their approach is even good. So don't hold back, but also be sure that the feedback is actionable. Give suggestions or have a conversation about how it could get better. There's nothing worse than vague, sugar-coated, unactionable feedback. And if you're not sure what actionable feedback is, it's feedback that can be actively addressed by either improving a process, an approach, attitude, etc. Communicate when you need help or if anything's at risk. This is a big one. It sounds counterintuitive, but asking for help and letting your leader know you're behind on a project is a good thing. But trust me, not telling or asking is much worse. By being honest about this, it demonstrates a few things. That you can be vulnerable and ask for help, and that the project and success of the team is more important than your pride. I have no problem doing either of these things because I put the success of the company and the team over my personal pride or feelings. Also, leaders are there specifically to help you work through these things. If you have a good leader, they probably asked you to stretch and take on a newer, bigger project, expecting that you'd need some help or guidance. Take advantage of that. It's a chance for you to show your humility, but also learn how you can address a challenge like this in the future, or when it's your turn as the leader to help out your team. So there you have it. Managing up is an important skill set and something you should practice. I'm going to do a follow-up to this video, like I mentioned earlier, to dive into some of the really bad advice I've seen given out there. Just as a quick preview, one tip I saw on how to manage up from a famous career coach out there, they said to never say anything that will make your manager look bad. Now I get it in theory, but that tip tells me you're sucking up. So stay tuned for that video coming up, and I will see you next time.